What's up guys? So it's February 2020 and today we're going to talk about the game of the month. So grab your coffee, have a seat, and stick with me. Welcome back to the channel. This is Ace. We are in Fit to Play games. So guys, we're going to talk about the game of the month that I have chosen for the month of February. But before I get started, if you're new to the channel and you have not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can benefit from subscribing to my channel. I am having a giveaway which is ending in March. We are still kind of early on in February, so if you stick with me at the end of this video, there will be a link that will carry you to that giveaway and it'll tell you the details on everything. So guys, let's get started to the game of the month for February 20. I've been contemplating on which game to choose for February, and guys, what better game to choose than the game that actually gave me the most challenge, the most excitement while I was playing as a child. So guys, the game has to go to this Gameboy title called Batman by Sunsoft. So before we jump into the gameplay commentary of this game, a little background story. This game was actually introduced to me by my cousin. We were on our way from the Philippines to come here to the US, and she let me borrow her Game Boy with a cartridge that had 351 games in it. So, and Batman was there, and that's the game that I played all the way from the airport to the Philippines to the US. So that's why I wanted to choose this game, and I want to talk a little bit about it and show you guys why this game deserves to be on my game of the month for February. So let's jump into the gameplay. So the Batman game is actually made in 1988. I know it says here it was published in 1989, but this was created in 1988 by Sunsoft. Now Sunsoft is a very good company that created a lot of platforming games. I can never really name all of them because some of the games that I played back in my original FC system were all in Japanese. All I know is you hit A, you jump, you hit B, you throw some shurikens and all that stuff. But as you can see here, Batman begins here with, a briefing from the Chief Gordon, and he's briefing you with the mission, and basically the first time I played this game was on an 18-hour flight from the Philippines to the US. And the game is a 2D platformer shooter game. I mean, who knew that Batman actually used firearms to, take care of the bad guys. Otherwise, the game is very good. You start off a typical level where it's an easy mode. Well, technically it's easy. As you get further, the game actually starts to become complex and the levels start to shift. Don't worry though, the game does not leave Bruce with weak weapons for long. As you progress, you gain different levels for your gun and different effects of bullets. There's the Batarang gun, which shoots and comes back to hit your opponent a second time, and what's great is that it hits everything in the direction you shoot it at. And there's the spring gun that looks a lot like a genetic helix, but it also does the job by being able to shoot over the walls for some reason. And that's one of the things that kind of bothered me a little bit, because you can actually kill opponents when you shoot with the genetic helix or something. I don't know, I would say the spring weapon. It just shoots through the walls that blocks you, and you're able to kill your opponent that's on the other side in the other wall. So that's kind of off, but you know what? I guess they threw that in there as an advantage for the players to enjoy the game. And as you guys can see here, I'm battling Jack, and it took me a couple of tries a while back when I was younger to defeat him. And as I become an adult, I start to understand like there are different positions that he shoots and then different jumps that he takes, and you just have to time it, which is pretty cool because, you know, in this way you learn how to become a better player, and you can clear levels a lot easier if you know what you're doing. Anyway, so now here we see Joker taunting me. And anyway, another advantage that the game actually gives you is the Batarang shield. It's something that you pick up by destroying bricks, and it spins around, you know, the bat slowly, but the more you get, like the more of the Batarang shields you obtain, the faster it spins. Not to mention it also acts as a passive weapon. So any enemies coming your way gets hit, and sometimes it actually destroys the enemy for you, or sometimes it weakens the enemy for you so you can finish them off with one shot. What makes this game super special is that when you think it's only a platformer, it lets you start to fly the Batwing in these mini missions. It turns the game into a shoot 'em up, pretty much like R-Type, which is amazing. There's mini boss fights as well included with the Batwing missions. And to finish it off, each level have fantastic music to keep you on your feet as you maneuver the Cape Crusader in the game. And all in all, I think this is a perfect recipe for an amazing game to try and play, and therefore I've chosen this game to be the game of the month for February. And this is kind of weird because remember, well, actually not weird for me, because I mentioned that there might be some games from different systems that I may choose. All in all, guys, the game, I believe, is, you know, this is my own opinion, the game is perfectly made. It never bored me for 1 second because it's always kept me on my feet. It always kept me thinking, and it has so much option. It didn't limit itself to just a platformer game. It actually gave you this option to play it like an R-Type of game for the Sega system. And you know what? I think this game is really worth it. And if you guys, you know, I wish I could let you guys borrow my game so you guys can try it and, you know, find out for yourself how awesome this game is. But definitely worth it. This game is worthy of being game of the month for February 2020. Alright guys, so that is the game of the month for February 2020, and I hope I gave you enough insight and a lot of information regarding this game, and I highly recommend it. If you guys ever come across this game, I highly recommend you pick it up and try it for yourself so you know how awesome this game really is. So then guys, I cannot wait for the next game of the month, which is coming up on March, and I already got a bunch of games lined up for you guys, and I'm just trying to choose which one to use for that month. So guys, until then,
Lord, please save her for me. Do this one favor for me. I had to change my plan.